Well, in more Olympics news, IOC chief Thomas Bach on Thursday criticized the Ukrainian government for sanctioning its own athletes by not allowing them to compete in recent global competitions. Athletes from Russia and Belarus have faced sanctions from a multitude of sports since Russia invaded Ukraine in February last year. As Moscow's assault on Ukraine stretches into a second year, the International Olympic Committee has recommended allowing athletes from Russia and Moscow's ally, Belarus, to compete as individual neutrals in international competitions. Their presence has led to boycotts by Ukrainian athletes. Bach, who said the stance of both Russia and Ukraine were dramatically opposed to that of the IOC, also criticized Moscow for shamelessly trying to put together political competitions. Um, Sports is such a big deal to these countries. Certainly, we've seen in recent times Saudi Arabia trying to spend a lot of money to be involved and within the discussion of sports. Um, some have said that it is sports washing. They've insisted that that Saudi Arabia, in particular, have insisted that they simply wish to open themselves up further to the world to invite people to see their culture from within. Therefore, they are trying every way to spend money to attract sporting attention. Russia, China, both nations do a lot when it comes to the Olympics to try to demonstrate a superiority of their athletes, a superiority of their people in international competitions. And Beijing has had a lot of successes with that in recent years, always competing with the USA for gold medals, silver medals, and even the bronze. Very close in numbers tally by the end of those competitions. Russia maybe doesn't have the same amount of money, but their enthusiasm to do well at the games never wanes. And we've seen in the past that state-sponsored doping has even taken place. Now, they are having their athletes back in the Olympics, granted not as flag-bearing athletes, neutrals, but they will still be recognized by people who know them to be Russian and Belarusian athletes as well. Is as the Ukraine has Ukraine taken too rash a step in boycotting the games because of this?
The time my prayer is, may God heal the land. What I know is the unifying factor, but things fall apart. According to Chinua, it's becoming next year by the day.
Yeah.
This war has spanned 1 year and about 5 months. We are no longer enjoying it. Because what sport is peace. But now there is too much enmity, infighting because of Russia and Ukraine. And more importantly, it's Ukraine to Russia because Ukraine feels Russia invaded their state. Then Belarus also joined in providing the arms and all other things, which did not sit well with them. And you know the painful part, this decision that was taken by the Ukrainian government that Thomas Bach in a 35-minute video said it was shameless, is that it felt qualifying tournament for the Paris 2024 that involved Russia, Ukraine, Belarus. They divide their athletes from taking part. And you know the painful part, Mikhail, even in tennis, when it's compulsory that you exchange pleasantries with your opponent after a game or in other competitions which are individual based, where you shake hands, you hug and say, oh, it's not a do or die affair. These athletes, one, they don't even compete against each other. And even if they compete against each other, they don't shake hands. Some will say, I will prefer to forfeit my match against any Russian or any Belarusian. And that's the same thing that the country does do. that the qualifying game that would be against Russians who now call themselves neutral or Belarusians, they don't want to be part of it. And you know, one part again is that these athletes who don't want to chase each other didn't cause this fight. It's about two countries and they don't know anything about this issue. They might not even be supporting what is going on in their various countries. But because of this problem, it's where we have found ourselves now. And honestly, Mr. I am devastated because it continues to go deeper than what we envisioned. You can imagine that an athlete of Ukraine, if you meet an athlete from Belarus or Russia in the final, and decide not to even come for the final, I say, I give you the gold medal and I accept the silver medal. And this is an athlete that if he or she contested for that fight, could have even won the gold. But we prefer to sacrifice not to have anything to do with somebody from a country that invaded their own country or a country that is supporting the country that invaded their country. Because this is not getting any funny. It is getting messier by the day. And we need to find a lasting solution, honestly.
Well, it might very well be that should the Russians pull out of Ukraine very soon or in the near future, that subsequent competitions will still have Ukrainians boycotting any head-to-head meeting with the Russians because of the bad taste and bad history that this war has created between the two nations. Thank you so much, Seun Ajidagba, for joining me and all of us at Plus Sports on the show.
Well, the pleasure is mine, Mika. Even when I look jaded and tired, as the boss, Mika, I need to answer to your call and attend to you. And I want to say thank you to you. Thank you to our amazing viewers on Plus Sports on PlusTvAfrica. But more importantly, the MVP and the guys who are in the production room preparing everything. You guys are celebrated. Thank you and God bless you.
And you too. We'll see you very soon in the studio, hopefully.
By God's grace.
To everyone at home or at work, wherever you've had the opportunity to catch us on Plus Sports on PlusTvAfrica. My name is Mikhail Tinubu. It's always a pleasure having you join us on the show. Remember, life is never boring with some sports. Have a wonderful evening.